This is good.
See ya, 8 Thoughts.
This is content.
Gay!
So as it stands right now, my pedigree chums, all the Call of Duty influencers, well, you should say influencers with a grain of sand, grain of salt, because a lot of people who have been invited down to LA for the Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer reveal are what one would say not really influencers. There's a lot of dead channels, small channels, people who don't even get 10,000 views on a video down there right now, along with the typical, three-headed horseman type people like Chaos, TmarTn and Drifter, and they're down there, and that's the thumbnail. Those three dudes were in bed and they made a podcast, and quite frankly, honestly, full disclosure here, that podcast they made and the way they answered the questions and talked about Call of Duty, I really actually agree with. They really weren't much caught sucking going on there. Like, they pretty much kept it real. But the problem is like, you know what, man, I'm not jealous. Like, I wouldn't probably even go to LA to hang out. Like, I don't know, it looks like an awkward crowd. I don't really look like I would fit in with those kind of dudes. Like, I'm a pretty outgoing and positive person in real life. I know a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but the idiots think that I'm some kind of like, oh, you're so negative, 8 Thoughts all the time, you're always talking trash, you're never happy. But like, in real life, when I'm not out here, ripping on video games, I'm probably one of the most optimistic, outgoing, and like really super positive people in public. And even with that going for me, I don't know if I'd feel very comfortable hanging out with that giant group of dorks. Like, TmarTn seems pretty cool, Chaos, even Drifter, like, he's actually kind of a quirky, funny dude, and like, those guys are okay, but there's like a really big group of like super nerds besides those guys. It just would be kind of, I don't know, man, like, it'd be kind of weird trying to, talk to them, and especially considering the fact I'm like the black sheep, and people might like kind of treat me a little bit strange and offhandish, not really knowing what's going on, thinking that I'm gonna come and like put him in a headlock and body slam him right there in the middle of the hotel lobby. I don't know. But the problem I find with this is that it's like the same thing every year, right? It's like some kind of big Call of Duty Illuminati circle of influence. Like, a lot of the channels, like I said, are pretty dead channels. Like, there's people on there who are pretty small, who some people even get like 5,000, 10,000 views, but they somehow are in this like buddy Call of Duty fraternity of positivity. And like, even TmarTn and Drifter, Chaos is never really negative about the game. That guy just is Mr. Top 10, but whatever. But like, a lot of them, man, are like really super duper like positive about it. And even TmarTn Drifter, though, like I said, aren't that really positive. They kind of keep it real, but it's almost like an agent of misinformation. I don't know if you saw that documentary on Netflix where it's like misinformation agents. They sort of go around and they pretend like, they're against the government. They spread misinformation, so they sort of like say a few bad things. Like, Prestigious Key is really good at that. Like, the guy does talk trash, but at the same time, it's sort of like one hand says this and the other hand says that, so to speak. And these guys are really good at that. Like, they'll make a video that speaks disparagingly about Call of Duty and be like, oh yeah, this game sucks and all these microtransactions, which is a pretty easy thing to attack. Like, yes, microtransactions are whack. That's pretty much the most obvious negative thing you can say about Call of Duty. Like, there's no one out here in the world, unless you're a redheaded retard called Elite Shot, that's going to be like, oh, you know what, man, Call of Duty, I love microtransactions. If you don't like microtransactions, you're just a loser, you need to get good. Like, Elite Shot is on some next level psychiatric drugs. That dude is out to lunch. But like, besides that redheaded idiot, everyone else in the world is going to be like negative about microtransactions. That's not a tough road or a tough pill or a tough, thing to sell to Call of Duty people out here as being like, negative, like, duh. But when it comes to actually like just not being very positive to the game, like, okay, Drifter, for example, definitely not positive about the game. That dude hasn't even uploaded Call of Duty for who knows how long. That guy's doing some pseudo-intellectual videos impressing 18-year-old kids with autism living in their mom's basement with some nonsense intellectual few stats thrown out YouTube videos. So yes, and TmarTn quit YouTube entirely for Call of Duty for the most part. He has his TmarTn 2 channel, which is like a Let's Play, and that guy got more views on that channel and more subs than any Call of Duty video he's ever done, probably his entire life. So, he kind of, gave the deuce and bounced out. Chaos, he's just, like I said, top 10 and is still doing Call of Duty videos from here and there. And those three dudes, they got invited, which is weird, right? Like, not just not me getting invited, but like, why are people like Neurocinema not getting invited? Like, where is Neurocinema? It's like, how's it going, guys? I'm Neurocinema, and Activision did not invite me to the Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer reveal. Super sad. And 402 Thunder did not get, come on in. There's like, slam the door. No, don't come on in, Thunder. Get the hell out of here. I mean, like, so that's kind of weird. Like, those two guys, at least, like, really should be at those events. Like, you know, Nero Cinema for sure has a pretty active channel. He gets quite a few views. Thunder, you know, his channel is pretty good. Like, you know, he's struggling a bit with Black Ops 4, but Modern Warfare seems to do pretty well for him. And he's an OG. I mean, me and him, for example, have been here, I think, almost longer than anybody else still doing Call of Duty videos, to be honest. I think me and Thunder, for the most part, are like the OGest of everyone. I mean, my channel, you know, has been multiple times renewed and remade. So, you know what, those of you who don't know, but, you know, I've been here as long as Thunder almost. I've just had multiple channels because I'm a freaking bipolar psycho who shuts down channels for no reason and starts over for whatever. But anyways, the point is, man, is like, I'm not jealous I didn't get invited. I just find it a bit annoying that it's the same Illuminati, reptilian shapeshifter Call of Duty YouTubers that get sent every year. It's like they belong to some kind of like fraternity of Call of Duty COD suckers. Like, how the hell do the same people keep getting invited every year, even if they end up quitting Call of Duty? Like TmarTn, like I said, doesn't do Call of Duty. Drifter pretty much quit Call of Duty, and I know it's advertising, right? Like, that's one thing. Like, even if they don't do much Call of Duty, but when they upload some Modern Warfare, I'll be honest, Drifter and TmarTn get pretty substantial views, so that makes sense. But what about these other dorks that got invited? Like, no hate on them, right? Like, you know, they're there and, you know, they're doing their best, and it's not like any kind of knock against them. But a lot of dudes who, I'm not even going to mention names because I'm not trying to throw shade here. It's not really about them. It's more about Activision and their, you know, choosing of who to go down. But a lot of dudes who I saw who were there kind of really don't have Call of Duty channels that have 10 times as many subs, 5 times as many subs as I do, yet they get like 1/10 the views, or 1/10 the views of Nero Cinema, or 1/10 the views of, you know, the 402 Thunder. And it just sort of seems like, I don't understand. It's sort of like the same year, same shit. You know, same year, different game, same shit, so to speak, and nothing has changed. And it's really hard as well. Like, let me just keep it real, right? Like, it's not you're getting paid. Like, these guys are pretty negative about the game in certain aspects. Like I said before, I got sidetracked there about the microtransactions, right? They say one thing bad here, then they say good things here. So it's sort of like agents of misinformation is the point I'm trying to get to. I got off topic there, but agents of misinformation, you know what? They're sort of like, it's like paid opposition. I don't know if you guys heard of that. Like, it's people who are meant to go out and look like as if they are against the status quo, but they're actually not. They're just saying the most obvious things that everyone else was agree with, but the actual truth and the heart of the matter and the actual problems with the situation, they don't actually talk about. And that's how I view all these dudes who have, you know, Call of Duty channels get invited down. Like, people like Nero Cinema actually really get to the, you know, heart of the problem. They actually shoot bullets and, you know, aim to kill. Like, they actually say negative things about Call of Duty. 402 Thunder, I don't know, man. He kind of does. He used to be a little bit more hardcore, but in his, you know, as he's getting older and, you know, he's drinking prune juice more regularly now, I think prune juice has softened him up a bit. He's sort of, you know, like, it's a joke, by the way, guys. I like Thunder, you know, but yeah, he's softened up a bit, and especially me. Like, I mean, like, there's no way in hell I'm going, I guess. I mean, I'm out here at Public Enemy #1, but at the same time, like, if I went, I think I would be an adult about it and handle it pretty well. But then here's the problem, right? When the whole thing is over, my influence is not going to be swayed by people, you know, doing something nice for me by giving me a trip. That's the problem here, right? Like, I go down there, I don't care if you gave me $10,000 in a suitcase, I'm probably going to still pretty keep it real. If the, you know, the reveal sucked and the game sucked, I would come up with like, yeah, guys, you know what? Like, not too good, man. More of the same year, different game, same year, blah, blah, blah. Not like, oh, hey guys, they thought you're super excited, you're so awesome, man. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 20, it's going to be the best game ever. Microtransactions, don't worry about that, man. It's gonna be awesome. Alright, yeah, to my 10% G Fuel discount code. I'm an Illuminati Call of Duty shield. Way, yeah. Like, some of these other guys are probably going to do when they get back. Like, a lot of guys with smaller channels, it's easy to buy their influence, right? They're so excited to actually get a free trip. You know, they're like, oh my God, I'm actually relevant for like 10 minutes. I can't wait. Oh my God, I've got flown to LA. I'm sitting right next to Drifter. Oh my God, I don't know whether to hold his hand or not. Ew, it's so exciting. Wow, Call of Duty, yeah. So those dudes definitely are going to be making positive videos about Call of Duty because they're just so excited to be relevant. But anyways, I don't know if this video made any sense. I'm rambling on a little bit here. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, hey, do yourself a favor and start living life to the fullest. Subscribe. If you already are subscribed, well, congratulations, you're an awesome alpha male. But hey, make sure to hit that like button as well. Let's get me at least 2 likes on this video if you enjoyed it. And last but not least, and most importantly, my pedigree chums, you all, stay black. No, the hunk record, don't change it, the balloon movies, are big, white man, bring it down.